For the next day, we're gonna look for 1,000-year-old Viking rune stones, explore medieval churches, and be fishing at the lake, setting up camp, and eating great food. Let's go! Okay, so welcome. We're gonna be going around today, looking around for rune stones at this location. Well, we're gonna start out here right around the railroad which I just came with. Found this little creek around here going right under the railroad bridge. Though I don't think you can actually catch any fish here. The only thing you'll be catching in this is probably some type of ancient disease of some sort. You know, the true reason why I went down here is actually to check if there's any trolls hiding underneath. But, you know, just to be sure. But it seems to be clear. I mean, even though this little body of water is extremely small and depressing, there's just something about just like men going down and staring at bodies of water for no reason at all, but just to do it. I seem to be the only one here, even though I get it. I mean, it's super like early in the morning, so I mean, no one would realistically be out this early, but I am. A little cute red and white typical Swedish copper building. Those, like all houses that have that color theme, is very stereotypically Swedish. That red color, it comes from the dye, copper dye. Basically, Sweden used to produce a lot of copper back in the day, and copper has this like orange color. And because of that, you can use it to color houses, and it became fashionable, and then now it's kind of stereotypical, and I think it looks good, looks cute. So I've seen to actually have located the first runestone, but we have to duck under this electric wire. Oh, let's go. And here we go. Here's the runestone. Whoa, why is there like someone should cut off all of this, but here it is. I'm gonna be honest, this one was not that well kept. You can instantly see, you know, the dye is currently like disappearing. You can kind of see like where it has been engraved. Basically, people used like tools to just get these rocks out to write these things on it. And then you would fill it up with like a red dye in between, so you would actually see what is written. And then also, as you can see, there's also like, I think this would be considered moss which has been growing on top of it. The same way you would leave like a gravestone after time, if you don't keep it up and like clean it, moss like this is gonna form on top of it. I need to stay away from this sharp bush with all these twigs on it. It's gonna, you know, ruin my jack. But I mean, you still kind of can see the shape of it, like the serpent or dragon, you know, thing which is going around. Typical, you know, the fact that the text is written around like that. Something else you'll notice is that up here there is a massive cross. You may not be able to see it that clearly on camera, but there is at least. For some reason, a lot of people like assume runestones weren't like made by Christians and that they were made during pagan times. Most runestones were made after the year 1000, though there are many runestones which are older than that, from like year 800 or, you know, way back. Let's read what it actually says. You know, I can't read Old Norse, maybe a couple people, but it's not like a common thing, like anyone in Sweden knows how to read Old Norse, and especially not runic. Like this is a different alphabet than we have today. This is like the old Germanic alphabet people had, like before the Latin alphabet came and took over. There's a little sign here to help you out, and what it says is Frösten, Torbjörn, Faste, Vinjut, Ulv, Gunjärv. These brothers raised this runestone in memory of Torsten. Yeah, but that basically, it's not like super interesting to be honest, but that's usually like many runestones are basically just like, but exactly like this. Frösten, Torbjörn, Fasten, Vinjun. It says which guys like maybe commissioned it, you know, that wanted it built, and for which person they made it for. They made it to honor their dad, Torsten, basically. That's why they built this thing. Or technically they didn't build it. It actually surprisingly says who built this. It was built by the rune master. That's what they were called, the guys who made runestones. They had like the professionals, and it was made by the rune master named Foot, which is kind of funny. That literally just means foot. Like his name was Foot. It also says that the runestone which we're going to now, the one in the north, was actually made by the same people. So I mean, I think that's enough. Let's go and leave. Let's go and look at what they had to yap about at the other runestone. Well, finding the second one was a lot easier, but I mean, same problem here. You see all the moss, and it's kind of a weird location here because it's just like surrounded by just like regular people house, a random runestone in the middle. Usually they're like in the middle of the woods or some close to a road or something. Very similar to the first one, so I can tell why people think it's made by the same dude. you can see like also this part up here has probably been added later. You see these parts have broken off and they've added it to it because it broke down probably. You can see pretty much the same thing. Text going around, some type of serpent or dragon in the middle, and there's a big cross in the middle. Yeah, from year 1000. And what it says, I usually think it's kind of disappointing. They look cooler than what they actually say. It's usually just like, same thing here, Vidjärv and Dawn and Fastar and Halvdan raised this stone for their dad, Faste. I mean, it's not the most epic, but it's basically just these people, they built this rock to honor, you know, their dad, basically. That's what the point of this rock is. That's it. That's like the second runestone. Let's move on to the next location. What an epic little train station. Ah, look at this scenery. They're pretty epic. You can even see over there, there's the church building over there behind all those horses. Hello, Mr. Horse. Okay, so we're currently outside one of, at least in my opinion, one of the coolest churches in this area. Stone church from the 1400s. And I like the fact that it's not as smooth and has like, you can see the individual rocks, right? Which they have put together. Stone wall, which is just a bunch of rocks like put together like this. This is the massive clock tower, essentially. And once again, you can see the moss coming at it. Like, you need to clean off the moss. But otherwise it's pretty, like, I mean, the color is in good shape at least. And I think the rock itself is very impressive, you know. This one is typical. You see a bunch of like knots being made. Dragon looking thing. You can see it's kind of fitting, to be honest, considering this is a church. There's a cross down here. Similar to the ones we saw earlier. The writing is also kind of similar. Björn, the name, very stereotypical Swedish name, which literally just means like the animal bear, you know. The Björn means bear, and people name themselves after animals over here for some reason. Even my last name is named after an animal. Basically it says that Björn, he made this as in memory for his father Fulner. So basically Fulner was the goat or something. We don't know what Fulner actually did, but Fulner was basically the goat and Björn wanted to honor him, so he decided to build this runestone. That has to be all we have to look at this church. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately it's closed, so we couldn't actually enter. Very impressive. Let's keep on moving to the next location. And by the way, if you wonder if all the runestones we have been looking at, if they originally always been at the same location, no, they have not. They most likely were at another location originally, maybe even got forgotten about. Like, a lot of runestones were placed and then people forgot about them, and then they found them like hundreds of years later. They cleaned them up, redrew the red lines, and then placed them at some other location. For example, many also runestones were used as building materials because, you know, the paint disappeared and people couldn't tell they were runestones. Well, this runestone is gonna be a lot harder to reach than the other ones, so I'm kind of just like walking out here on like a field. I have no idea. I think this is wheat or something being grown here. There's a massive Minecraft automatic wheat farm over here. Close to that barn over there, there's gonna be a runestone. Ah, I love the fresh smell of poop in the air. Quickly run over. Okay, we made it safely to the other way of the railway. Oh man, we just made it across that entire field. That's where we started. I just walked over that entire field, bro. Oh man, I probably have like a bajillion ticks on me, but doesn't matter. Ticks, they fear me. They suck a little bit of my blood and they just die out of like a caffeine overdose or something. It was all worth it, hopefully, I don't know. Because over there, right there, is runestone. You know what I say, you gotta save the best part to the end. And this is definitely the coolest runestone we have on the entire journey. Not just like the appearance of it, because the appearance, I'm gonna be honest, this is not in good like shape. Like, there's literally moss on it. Like, this moss, someone should just remove all this moss. I know they say never remove the moss, but I mean, this is different. Supposedly this is supposed to be like a cross or something. I don't really see it, but sure, I guess. By the way, this is technically not a rune stone. This one is pretty humongous. Like, the definition of a rune stone is, you know, that it isn't attached to the ground. This one, you know, sits inside of this massive hill, like it's part of the hill. But the most interesting thing about this, which makes this one my favorite out of the trip, is the cool history behind what it says. Leapstein let building of bridges. between Själabot for himself and for his wife Ingrud, and his son Jorund, and Niklas and Luden. Basically, you know, it doesn't say that much. It sounds like a basic runestone, like, oh, he like, this guy did this for this. But this Leapstein guy actually has some pretty cool lore, and you can learn a lot of things simply just by reading this text. Actually, you can't see it from here, but down there is a lake, and there Leapstein had a harbor where he had built boats. Because the sea levels were higher during the Viking Age, that lake was connected to the ocean, so you could sail and use that kind of like as a trading post and send your ships down to bigger cities such as Sigtuna, Uppsala, which were the biggest cities at that time. Stockholm was a teeny tiny place. Today Stockholm is the biggest city, Göteborg is the second biggest, and Malmö is the third. I don't think even Malmö was Swedish, it was Danish back in that time. All those big cities weren't big cities. The biggest cities were actually around this area. That lake was connected to the ocean, and you could sail all the way here. And this location, as you may see, this kind of hilly area, you see all this flatland around here. It's very possible that this flatland where the farm is could have been ocean. This place would have been ocean, and this area right here would have been an island, this massive hill, because the sea levels were so much higher, or rather the land has risen so much, because Sweden and Finland goes up every single year. Every single year they go up from the ocean, and the sea levels technically go down. So this would have been an island. And that bridge he's talking about in the text, it says that Leapstein built bridges. He basically built like bridges in between two islands, or connecting two land masses. But technically they weren't really bridges as we think of. They were like floaters. You would build like float bridges, so it wasn't like down to the ground. It's more or less they floated on the ground so you could walk over the water. So basically Leapstein was a bit of a hustler when it comes to his time. And another very interesting thing about Leapstein, which you can learn by just listening to the name of his sons. One of his sons was named Niklas, or in short name, a very common name in Sweden is Klas, which comes from Niklas. And Niklas, that name is a Christian name. This means that Leapstein would have been Christian because he named his son after a Christian name. So by this time he would have converted. Another interesting thing about him naming his son to Nicholas, which comes from the Christian saint, Saint Nicolaus. It's basically the saint of seafarers, so people would pray to him to get safe travels when traveling across the sea. So maybe he deliberately named his son Niklas after Saint Nicolaus, considering that he himself, Leapstein, you know, he had a lot of connections to, you know, traveling via his ship. Now, after all of this journey, I've been walking for hours now, and I'm really hungry. So I think we're gonna sit down now, have a little bit of a snack. I mean, the food I got with me is basically just a summary of like the most underrated camping food you could bring with you. Honestly, like I don't see anyone bringing this. I don't know what, am I just really weird? I might just be really weird. Boiled eggs. They're great. In room temperature, a boiled egg can last for like 3 days without any issue. I don't get why, I have never seen anyone do this. They're just awesome. You just bring an egg, you crack it open, and because it's like, it has its shell, it's protected as well. They're a great snack, tons of protein, good fat, are gonna keep you full. Like eggs keep you full. A lot of people like, they think more carbs, they don't think fat and protein. I think fat and protein are better because they keep you full for longer. Carbs, they're nice, they taste good, right? But you kind of run out of them, and then you're hungry and you gotta eat often and constantly snack. Eat a bunch of eggs at once and you're gonna be like full for a really long time. Another thing which I really like, which I don't see anyone else bringing, I've never seen anyone be like, hey, yo, I'm gonna bring just like a piece of cheese. Cheese is also great, it lasts, it's a lot of calories, it's just fat. Tastes pretty good. I don't know if that's weird, but I just randomly just put cheese and raisins one time in the same bag just to save space, and then I just ate them all at once, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a pretty fire combo. I don't know. I just tried it and it worked. I thought I liked it, so I just, ever since I just started doing it, I just bring raisins the cheese in the same bag, and I just eat them together. I don't know why it's such a good combo. It sounds wrong, trust me, and the combo just works. I don't know why, but it just works. Gotta crack open some eggs. Oh, I went a bit too hard there. See? Pretty good. So, okay, so anyway, now I got a lot of food in me, looking big and strong, charged up. I think I'm ready for this awesome day. We're now gonna be heading away to the lake and we're gonna go for fishing. I haven't been fishing in like a year. It feels like in ages because it has been winter and I don't like ice fishing. So I think the ice should be gone by today. So it's gonna be the first time I'm able to fish like regularly in a really long time. Like people always complain about climate change, but it's like, I mean, do I complain? I live in Sweden, guys. I live in Sweden. Do I really have to complain about it being hotter? I know, guys. I know cheese and raisins might sound kind of wrong, but trust me. You have to just trust me on this one. I know what I'm talking about. I'm the CEO of cheese. I'm definitely an expert on it. Oh man, I don't know why I found this combo on accident. I've never heard anyone talk about this. Maybe there's a specific type of cake you make in Poland actually called sernik. Actually it's like a cheesecake. And if you wonder what these things are, if you're a big city person have never stepped outside in the countryside, this is basically just a hay bale. It's filled with hay which farm animals are gonna be eating, especially during winter. I got up super early to make this video, man. I really hope this video gets at least some views. I'm starting out. Please, if you're watching this for the first time, please drop a like, drop a comment and press that subscribe button. All the generic YouTuber talk. Sorry, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Be like, please subscribe. Can you please stop sign over here? Perfectly fitting. Stop. You need to subscribe now. You have no choice. Man, look at that cool barn. It's massive. Those hay bales probably going to that barn maybe. I was walking just over there. Man, I got up really early to make this video and now the sun is finally going up. If you look up the sky there, you can see, I think there's an eagle. Okay, so we're now back to the same lake as last time, or we're gonna go to it right now. Hopefully this time my line won't break and I actually will be able to catch some fish, and we're gonna stay over the night. And I have stacked up some very epic meals for today, so it's gonna be epic. I'm gonna show you 5-star Michelin restaurant. Yeah, let's go. Okay, we have arrived and it seems like the ice is completely gone, so just gonna head for some quick food, then it's time to begin fishing.
Den är lite gammal och den är lite... Let's go. Meatball.
So I'm just gonna make some sourdough toast with some vanilla butter. It's literally just butter I've melted and mixed in some vanilla sugar into it. And trust me, this is like an Eastern European classic. Good, this is great actually, because you just light it with some alcohol and then you have this entire thing protecting it from the wind. You put on pan on top. My butter is unfortunately very cold, so I actually have to heat it up before I can actually use it. I'm just gonna put it on top of here and hopefully it's gonna heat up. Hopefully the glass doesn't break. That would kind of suck, but I think it should be fine. Okay, let's go. I've just melted the butters. Oh. I'm gonna hold it up a little bit because it's getting a little bit out of hand. It's a little bit too hot there. I just realized I made a mistake. I think I did a bit too much butter once. I just poured almost all of it, but it doesn't really matter. It's just that the second one is gonna have a little bit too little butter. This one got like most of it. I did a mistake. I think I should have separated and used the vanilla powder and the regular butter separately, and then I should have cooked this in regular butter. Oh man, this is looking good. Yeah, what's going on? Let's go. Okay, that's great. Boom. If you look at this fire, it's looking kind of massive, but it's actually pretty easy to end it. You just gotta quickly whoop, whoop, boom. Because that removes all the oxygen from the fire, and obviously the fire can't continue if it can't do the chemical reaction with oxygen. This right here, what you're looking at, is basically like the poor man's classic when it comes to many places in Eastern Europe. The difference is obviously that I used vanilla sugar instead of regular sugar, but basically it's just a mix of 3 very cheap components: butter, bread, and some type of sweet thing. Like you would do this in like many places like post-Soviet countries. It's like a pastry you made at home. It's super fast, super cheap, super tasty. Oh man, that's good. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm outdoors, my hands would get super soggy from all the sugar and the butter, I would have ate this with my hands. But right now, no, I don't want to get sticky hands. Okay, so basically I made some protein oatmeal. It's with cinnamon and rhubarb taste. Rhubarb is very stereotypically like associated with Sweden. I don't think anyone really eats a lot of rhubarb like outside of Sweden, but it's really good, especially together with cinnamon. I also think there's some apple slices dried into it. But yeah, protein oatmeal, I think there's some whey into this. I even threw like 2 scoops of creatine into it just to, I mean, I usually take it every single day. Now I'm taking it just like inside of this. I got some oatmeal for today and for tomorrow. Now you can see it's starting like to boil, but I can't cook it too hard either, because then it's gonna burn to the bottom. So I pick it up and hold it a little bit over like this, while simultaneously mixing. I did a mistake when cleaning the other pan, and now I have soot on my hands. I mean, it's what happens. It's not that bad. Let's try this out. Actually, look at it. Looking pretty good. Oh man, that smell of cinnamon is really good. You can't really tell the rhubarb. Rhubarb is super underrated. I just got like the smell of this, and I couldn't really tell what it was. I got like that nostalgic feeling. You know when you're like, sometimes every once in a while you get like that smell of something you have smelled when you were like a kid. You haven't smelled it in decades, but then all of a sudden you smell that nostalgic children smell, you know. And that's kind of what I got reminded when smelling this, because it reminds me a lot of like rhubarb pie. My dad would always make rhubarb pie back in the day, and that's like super stereotypical for Sweden. And I think in the America it's probably more like blueberry pie or apple pie or whatever. I've never heard of anyone else, at least in another country, talking about rhubarb pie specifically, but I have been raised on that. Rhubarb pie with vanilla sauce, like it's the goat, it's the best, honestly. Rhubarb pie with vanilla sauce. Okay, alright, I've now done the dishes, so I think it's about time that we go out there and start fishing. Okay, we've now reached the spot. I mean, this is a great... I mean, oh, the lake is so much nicer now that the ice is gone. In an earlier video, I was here and it was ice everywhere. I thought the ice had melted by then, so I thought I could be fishing, but nope. Only ice fishing, but barely that, because the ice was so weak that you couldn't even walk on it. You would just break through. So it was literally almost impossible to fish on that lake now. But now, this spot is looking great. And there's several different cliffs over here, like this one I'm standing right here on, where you can stand and throw out. I have never fished here before, so I don't know what the conditions are, but I'm really looking forward to the year's first fish. Hopefully perch. That is actually what I'm aiming for. And if I get a really good perch, I'm probably gonna keep it and fillet it, and it's gonna become part of my dinner. Well, this is gonna be the rod I'm using. It's just a flat line. It's not the best rod, but I bought it like on a super big sale, so it does the job. In these types of conditions, literally just a week ago when I was here filming another video, and this entire lake was covered in ice, it was impossible to fish. Now, literally a week later, there is no ice, but the water is extremely cold. I just dip my fingers, it's super cold. Outside, the weather is actually really nice right now, but the temperature in the water is not. When the water is really cold, they're very low energy. Meanwhile, when it gets hotter, they're gonna be more hyped up and they're gonna go for your spinners and that type of stuff. In these type of conditions, they're not that likely to go for a spinner. So instead, I think the best bait is gonna be some type of jig. Either I'm gonna go for like a green one like this, or maybe like a purple one. Basically, when fishing in a condition where the fish isn't very hyped up, is that you need to go slow. To use a weighted jig like this, put it into one of these, and the reason why you don't also want to use a very heavy weight, there are jigs with very, high weights. You don't really want to have like very heavy jigs on this, because the heavier it is, the deeper or the faster rather it sinks. And you don't want like a bait which sinks really quickly. You want one which kind of slowly goes down. Using a slower bait is going to be way more effective when the fish isn't active. We're all set up now. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna begin exactly at this spot. If you look down, I gotta keep in mind that there's probably tons of rock close to shore. Man, I need to be careful. Bunch of like trees which have fallen into the water, so I might get stuck in that. I'll try out this spot. I don't know if it's good or anything. It looks like there's tons of rocks here as well. A little bit hard to throw over here because of all the vegetation, all the trees around. This area is a bit hard to fish because there's also tons of rocks. I'm gonna try to actually not lose like free baits. Oh, that throw was horrible. That was garbage. I'm not, if I catch anything on this, man, no way. There is no chance. I'm trying to use reverse psychology on the fish by saying there's no way that I'm gonna catch something. Hopefully like the fish is gonna hear that and be like, oh, that means there is no bait here and there's no hook, and they're just gonna go for it, you know, trust me. Reverse psychology definitely works on fish. Okay, so there's a pretty easy way to actually check if a spot is a good sleeping spot or not. And I just simply just by laying down and trying it out. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Ah. Okay, let's get up, let's put up the tent and let's continue fishing. We're gonna put up a tent somewhere on top of this surface here. Bit of like dried grass. Here you can push down these a bit deeper. I was here in another video at this exact same location. This is an old mill which has existed for, you know, maybe 1,000 years or so. This is like super old. It has been abandoned for maybe 60 years or so. One thing which is kind of cool when sleeping right next to this place is, you know, the sound. Do you hear it? You know how like whale noises, noises of the sea, generally water flowing tends to be very, very like relaxing and nice. Hopefully this is gonna help us sleep better tonight. Anyway, I gotta quit yapping and actually go and work and put up the tent. It's actually starting to get a bit late because we're wasting so much time. Fishing is going horrible. It was way harder than it looked because we're kind of stupid. So setting up the tent wasn't the easiest, but it's finally up at least. So I guess we're actually gonna be able to sleep tonight. So that's a good thing. I literally just used this rock as a tool to get down these. You see here on the side, we had to bonk these into the ground. Didn't have any like hammers or anything, so I just used this stone, just like dunk, 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 down it so we can hold the tent up. The line goes here, bunk, bunk, bunk. You got the tent up. This is meant for 4 people. We're 3 people, but I mean, luckily it's 4 people because we're kind of big. We're big ass boys, you know, kind of bulking. Bulking season is going kind of crazy. So, I mean, it's good that we have a little bit extra space in this. Oh man, I didn't actually think I would get so hungry. I ate so much food. I mean, all that oatmeal, a lot of calories in that. I had all of that, but I'm really starting to get hungry right now. I've been fishing for hours now, but I haven't caught anything. The fishing is going horrible. I'm gonna be returning in just about now. I'm gonna go back to the lake. My legs are all hurt. I walked so much today. At least I got this nice view over this little water mill. Hopefully we don't get like haunted by a ghost water miller or whatever they're called. Whatever a person that works at a water mill is called. You're here at the old water mill. You see these walls and everything. Then you see a lot of this like electric stuff. When you first look at it, you think like, oh, this looks like it's super old, you know, maybe 200, 300, 500 years old. But then you look down here and you find stuff like this. Look at this. You can see the wires and everything. It's rusted. Look at this. Imagine what would this have been? I mean, look at this. This looks like something straight out of Fallout. Now that the tent is up, we have to go back to the spot where I was fishing. I dropped off my bag and everything over there. I gotta go back there. I'm probably gonna do some more fishing and then we're gonna return here. You know, sleep, make some great food for dinner. Dinner is gonna be epic. I'm not gonna spoil what's gonna be for dinner, but I swear it's gonna be like, it's seriously gonna be like 5-star Michelin restaurant top tier food. Like, it's gonna be awesome. Like, this channel, trust me, in a few years this is not even gonna be like an outdoor channel. It's gonna just be a pure food channel. I'm just gonna be cooking. I mean, look at these boats, man. I wish I had a boat here. I was thinking about maybe buying one of these like inflatable boats of Amazon, which are like super cheap, though I don't know if I trust them so much. Like being out in the lake will always automatically give you like 10 times as many places where you can easily fish, you know. One weird thing with this bait I noticed, which I kind of liked, I don't know if this was intentional by design, but if you look at it, you see that the upper part of it is see-through, which makes it very easy to go through with the hook. So you always see where the hook is, so you never have to be afraid of when you're like putting the hook through the jig that you mistakenly just go too quick and you end up stabbing yourself in the finger. So I mean, I don't know, kind of smart design. I'm feeling this one. I am feeling this bait. Let's go out. We're gonna catch so much fish. I'm gonna get the biggest fish ever. I'm gonna hit a PR. I swear, I'm literally like the best in the world at catching no fish at all. I'm literally like the Ronaldo of catching no fish, the GOAT. You know, my hope when I'm not catching any fish is the fact that fishing isn't even that much about skill or gear. It's more like the location and the time matters more. Being on the right place at the right time. Like this place, it looks good, but is it good? I don't know. So far it's kind of bad, but it might just be the time. It might just, the fish just not feeling it today. My bait, they might just not like it as of now. This same location might have been really good just like in summer. Too bad. Oh man, that's actually my line just broke. I'm gonna fix the line and add a new bait, and hopefully I'm gonna return in just maybe 30 minutes or so and try again. Look at this weird method of spreading the butter. I never thought of this, but it actually kind of works. Yes, my hand is getting a little bit butterfied, and yes, this would be kind of considered unsanitary, but honestly, you should just work on your immune system and this should be fine. This right here is a very stereotypical Swedish type of bread called knäckebröd. You will notice it pretty much everywhere. I think it just translates over to like flat bread. You just put some butter on top and it's gonna taste perfectly. I mean, this flat bread, man, is so good. Look at the crunch on this thing. From what I know, people used to eat like flat bread when they would go on long voyages out at sea. They would pick flatbread because it doesn't spoil. Regular bread, obviously it molds really quickly, but flatbread, it lasts super long. You can just put it out in room temperature and it won't mold at all. Fishing is not going so well, but I'm back at least. As you can see, the line is fixed. So we're going back now up north here. Back from camp, going up the lakeside, and hopefully we're able to catch something up here. The sun is setting now, so this realistically would be like the best time to catch something. Oh no, I need to go and help bro out. He just got stuck in a tree with his bait. I mean, somehow bro managed to get it stuck in the inside of the tree. I don't know how that's possible, but let's see if we can actually get it out. Oh man, this is really bad. Oh no, I don't know if we're gonna get this out or not. The worst thing when it's like stuck in a really weird place is that it's kind of scary to pull, because it feels like you're gonna pull it and it's just gonna come flying straight at you into your face. Oh man, I'm making some progress actually. I'm trying to pull it to the side so that, oh no, now it's feeling really stuck. Oh man, this is really scary. Okay, I'm gonna try to pull downwards to the side so that it doesn't just fly into my face. That would really suck. Come on. I mean, we have gotten stuck so many times today in different locations. We have lost like several baits, maybe like 4 baits we have lost in total today, but we have caught 0 fish. This is really like to end it all off. We're gonna end it off with losing another bait in the most like humiliating way possible, like in a tree. Like having this bait getting stuck in a tree reminds me of one time back in school. I remember with my class we went to a lake, and the teacher brought like 3 fishing rods with her, and you know, obviously we were many kids, we kind of shared those 3 fishing rods. And I really wanted the fishing rod. Like, I kind of knew what I was doing. Not a lot of them had ever fished, so they didn't know what they were doing at all. And I just really wanted that fishing rod. And then, like, the first person who gets the fishing rod was, like, this girl. And the first thing, I remember I got so mad when I heard that. I was like, man, I want the fishing rod first. She doesn't know what she's doing. Why did she get it and not me? And the first thing, I kid you not, the first thing she does when she gets the fishing rod, she yeets it up and throws it, and it gets stuck in a tree. And I could see it like before it even happened. I got so pissed because we had to like deal with it for like 20 minutes trying to get it out. And I was just like sitting there, it's like, it should have been me, not her. Anyway, that reminded me of this. I don't think I'm getting this out. I think it's over. Use the knife, that's the only sharp object I have, and cut it off, you know. See how easy. Oh, that was way easier. Man, this knife is really sharp. I didn't expect it to be that easy. Oh. I don't know if the lighting here is horrible. You probably can't see so much of me right now because it's completely dark. We should have made dinner way earlier. You can't see really anything right now. I don't know if you can see so good because of lighting, but this is what I'm gonna be cooking up. Polish szurek soup, most common soup you'll see in Poland, and it's absolutely great. And commonly it's served with you know, eggs inside of it. So I'm gonna crack like 3 eggs and put it inside of the soup and just down that. You can see I didn't expect the difference. It doesn't feel that cold outside, weird enough, but I can still like breathe out like this. Look at this. The temperature, it is decreasing, but what is gonna feel really nice when having all this is gonna be like a really hot soup. Okay, the soup is looking pretty good right now. Vill ni ha lite eller?
Ja.
Okej, ta ut era skålar så häller jag över lite. Okej, lite där. Oj. Okej, då får jag avsluta den här elden bara. Traditionally proper, you're supposed to throw some eggs into it as well. Let's give it a little taste test. I mean, it was pretty good actually. We have a good piece. Got some egg, some szurek soup, and a little bit of meat from the soup. Let's try it out. I'm not even gonna lie. The best thing about the soup isn't actually the calories, it's just that it's warm. It's nice to have something warm when it's like cold outside, to just have something hot. Oh, that was good. I'm making some grilled cheese right now. Hopefully it's gonna be pretty good. This is Norrland grilled cheese, Northern Swedish grilled cheese. It's gonna be pretty good. I had it on the last trip as well, and it's just a staple. Okay, this one is looking pretty good. It's pretty good. It tastes pretty good. Look at my breath right now. It's just like, it doesn't feel that cold at all. Like, I'm wearing this flannel shirt and it's like, bro over there, he's like freezing his butt off, but I'm not really bothered. I mean, it's kind of chill. I'm having my cheese. Cold doesn't bother me at all. Okay, look at that. Looking pretty good. I mean, man, the flame is actually really big. It's so dark outside, we can't really see anything if it wasn't for my headlamp. I'm like the carry right now of this entire mission, bringing the light to everything. Oh man, I'm gonna be absolutely enjoying this. And then after that, we're gonna go to the tent. Okay, I'm gonna show you the crib now. Okay, so the day is basically over. Kind of failed with the fishing, but I can't wait for tomorrow in the morning. Hopefully we're able to catch something there. We're gonna be sleeping here. Basically now, after we watch like a movie or something, I'm gonna finish that grilled cheese. So see you tomorrow. Good morning. So basically this night sucked. It got probably -0 or something, when expected it would probably be like +3 Celsius, which isn't that much of a difference, but it does make a pretty big difference when considering things freezing or not. Obviously, you don't feel that much of a difference in the temperature outside, but you'll notice kind of goofy things happening. For example, I've noticed several things in this tent which kind of made this entire thing kind of messy. It's kind of wet, it's condensation. Basically, condensation appears when it's cold on the outside and hot on the inside. And when those two temperatures meet, go from gas form into liquid form on these things. And then on top of that, not only is the water itself cold, but the cold water will be dripping down this thing until it reaches the end here, the side of my mat where I'll be laying with my sleeping bag. And I can feel, like right here on the side, here at the bottom, there is ice. There is ice which have been forming here at the side. So no wonder it got so cold. For me though, I have this sleeping bag. I have a double layer, I have like a merino wool inner layer as well. So it wasn't that bad. I got maybe a maximum 2 to 3 hours of sleep. Well, which isn't too bad. I've had worse. I've had nights where I slept 0 hours. I mean, it could be worse. I slept on this inflatable mat you can sleep on. And I can feel on the side it's wet and even frozen on one end. So I think it's smart to just release all the air. Pack this down already. Oh. If you look at the gear, do you see all like the crystallizing? That is ice. You look at this part here. Do you see that? That's frost. You see small pieces of frost on all our gear just laying here. Here's one of our bags. You see all the frost. Even when I put on the shoes, my shoes were completely like hard. They were really hard. Basically what all that frost means is that it was probably like minus like 0 degrees sometime this night when we were out sleeping, which we were actually not really prepared for. Especially one of us one of us actually forgot their bag, sleeping bag, and he's out running right now, and I'm gonna do so as well. I mean, I'm freezing and I'm hungry, and I think as soon as I start running a little bit and start moving and get some food in me, it's gonna feel 10 times better. Plus, as the sun comes up, it's gonna get a lot, you know, hotter outside. I did not expect it to like this to be some type of like challenge video. I thought this would be an easy camp out. So because I'm freezing, there's one method I can do to heat up quite quickly, and that is using my own body heat by simply just running. So honestly, I think I'm gonna start off this day pretty healthy and quite like, you know, wake up 4 in the morning to go out on a run. I'm doing like all of those like morning routines, but unironically today I'm actually gonna do that 4 in the morning run. Oh, I'm not running that fast, but it's just moving a little bit, running back and forth. Look at this old ruin. That ruin is from the old watermill. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna run back. I'm gonna use this kind of like a marking stone. I'm just gonna run back and forth until I'm starting to feel warm again. And once I'm warm, then we're gonna start eating some food. And once food is in me, the sun is starting to go up, everything's gonna start feeling good again, and the fishing is gonna go great. One of my friends, he told me today, he said, that was the worst sleep I've ever had. That was the worst night I've ever experienced, because he didn't have a sleeping bag with him. And I told him, at least now you had the worst night ever, so any night you'll have from now on is going to be better than that one. So it gives you a bit of like a humbling experience. I'm starting to get the heat right now, or maybe it's just my cardio that is horrible. Maybe it's a combination of both. You convert the fuel which you have within your body, the calories, you burn the calories and use them in your muscles to be able to perform a physical task, like for example running. Once you do that and you burn those calories inside of your muscles, those calories, that energy turns into movement energy. And as you might know, I don't know if you've learned this, but every time a movement energy occurs, heat also is made. It also converts into heat energy. So it goes from chemical energy, calories inside of you, into movement energy inside of your muscles, into finally becoming heat energy, which will heat up your body. So the most important part of all of this is just that if you have enough food, you know, calories in the beginning to burn off in order to generate heat, you'll be all good. And luckily enough, we have tons of food, so that's not an issue for us. Keep on running, keep on eating. Whew. Feels good to just be out. Oh, I'm so much warmer than I was in that tent, unironically. I'm just gonna make some protein oatmeal today for breakfast again, and then I'm gonna eat a bunch of eggs on the way to the lake, just effectively just snacking as I'm walking. I'm gonna cook basically some corn in a bunch of butter. That's gonna taste amazing. That's like a classic. I used to eat that always in summer. My dad would just grill corn. I got 2 vacuum sealed corns with me. It's gonna be awesome. Look at just all the steam which is coming from this, and that's because this is so hot and the air is so cold right now. I didn't expect it to get this cold, but this is gonna taste really good, just purely because it's hot. Okay, it's starting to look pretty good. Look at this. Oh, you see all the steam just coming from it. It's so hot. This is also pretty nice. You can feel the flame, but I'm probably gonna just put it out right now, and then I'm gonna relight it again. Oh man, I missed. Doesn't look that good, I'm gonna be honest. It kinda, yeah, it looks like oatmeal, but it's gonna taste really good. It's with, as I stated, same thing as yesterday, cinnamon and rhubarb. And the best part about it is just that it's hot, honestly. Okay, it was a little bit too hot actually, so I gotta let it chill a little bit. Everything feels horrible when you're hungry. I'm not hungry anymore. Everything is starting to feel great again. I'm a bit late, I'm gonna be honest. I should have been fishing right as the sun was setting, but they might be very active now in the morning. I just grabbed 4 boiled eggs with me, which I can kind of snack on. All the other guys seemed more annoyed than I was. I think they slept worse than I did. I think I brought simply just the best gear. I was the most prepared. I mean, what do you expect? I'm the guy wearing the flannel shirt. Of course, the guy in the flannel shirt knows everything about being outdoors, so he knows what to bring. But even I'm gonna be honest, I did not bring enough gear. I should have had a way thicker sleeping bag. The sun is setting, it's so beautiful. I can hear all the birds singing. This really reminds me of last summer when I was in Lapland in northern Sweden with my family. We were catching really good fish back then. It feels like any lake you go to in the northern Sweden is like a banger. Like literally any lake, any river, anywhere you go fishing over there, it just turns out to be really good. Meanwhile here it's really hit or miss. The view is beautiful, the lake is awesome and so, but I wish the fishing was as awesome here. I was thinking about doing drop shot fishing yesterday, but I forgot the drop shot over at the camp. So I either have to go back and reattach that and then go back here, which isn't the best because now it's the best time to fish. And the other guys, they had a really bad time sleeping today. And I came with their car, so if they go back, I have to go back too. Okay, so I think we're gonna change locations, go a little bit up. I won't be able to walk that far up, which is unfortunate. I wanted to go quite far up to find a good spot to fish at. I'm just eating spiderweb, man. There's so much spiderweb I'm walking into, it's crazy. Fortunately, because I don't have that much time now to fish, because the other boys they want to leave, I think I won't be able to walk up that far up. So I'm just gonna go to one of the spots I went to yesterday. Okay, we're at the location where bro lost his bait last time. Hopefully I don't lose mine in the tree this time. Well, that spot sucked as well. I guess we're gonna keep on moving. I mean, it's so beautiful today. If this was just like a regular, you know, camping trip where I just like went out on like a hike, walked around, looked at nature, you know, ate food and camped, this wouldn't even, I wouldn't even been this mad. Like, I mean, just look at this view, it's awesome and all, but it's just I'm not catching any fish. I came here specifically to fish, nothing else. And I'm failing on that one task. Everything else is nice. Even the horrible night's sleep, like it legit sucked. It's not that bad once you've done it. Now it has passed and I feel great. It's kind of like, have you ever heard of dopamine detoxing, where you do something which you think is like really boring, or something which isn't like very fun at all. You lay in your bed and you can't do anything. It's super boring. But then as soon as you wake up, you just go out of your bed, you can do anything. Anything becomes kind of fun. Even though the night's sleep was horrible, like it's almost like I've already forgot about it. Like I don't really even mind it anymore. They're a bit too far away for me to tell what it is. But there's some type of species of duck out in the middle of the lake, and I can see that they're like diving underneath. I wonder if they are catching more fish than I am. Hey ducks, are you guys catching fish? Is there Is there any fish in this lake, or is this just completely barren? You know, it might just be a really bad lake. But it looks so cool. Look at that big like a rock over there. That would be cool to like set up and be on the top of that. Here's just one thing I really like about like Swedish geography. It's just these. I mean, it's these cliffs you will see everywhere. These massive like random rocks you will see everywhere in the forest, wherever you go in Sweden. But Sweden as in general is made out of granite. Built upon that, most of the rock underneath the surface is granite in Sweden. And basically a lot of these rock formations, everything, they're a result of the inland ice. If you look at Greenland, for example, that's how Sweden used to look at one point. Sweden used to be like Greenland before all the ice melted. And once all the ice melted, it revealed a surface like this, which had kind of gotten sculpted by the heavy weights of the ice pushing down on it. And it has created this very unique and cool terrain. I mean, the fishing is going horrible, but this, I gotta taste the egg in my mouth, and I got a bunch more, which I'm probably just gonna sit there and eat some eggs. So this is how you crack an egg the best way. You take the egg, you take your fist. Simple. I usually hate eggs. I eat them every single day pretty much. I get so sick and tired of them. But whenever, somehow, when you're out in nature, everything tastes better. Even eggs. It might just be because I'm so hungry. But now it actually tastes pretty decent. Oh, it's starting to look pretty good now. Whew. Man, out of all meals of this trip, this is one which I've looked forward the most. The most nostalgic one I have made. Some corn in butter. Simple. Okay, my buddy's gonna go and grab some sticks. You're gonna shove one stick in this end and one stick in this end, and then you can eat it. Oh man, that is looking good. Another piece of butter. I've used so much butter for this. This is insane. Look at this. Another brick of butter. I've had 3 of those bricks of butter into this. More butter the better. That's a rule. I've said this before on this channel, that there is a rule in life, which is that anything which tastes good, which requires butter, tastes better the more butter is in it. I mean, just look at this. Oh, look at that. That is the surface we want. You gotta be humble. It's not gonna be nearly as good as when Dad does it, because he always grills them. He would grill these in summer. Every single summer we will have this. He would grill them, and it's one of my favorite things. Just like, oh, look at all that butter. I'm using way too much butter, and I love it. It's awesome. This one is gonna be purely mine. They get to share that one. Look at that, man. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, that is crazy. I think it's way too hot. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna burn my tongue touching this. No, it's absolutely perfect. This is brilliant. That's brilliant. Name me one more thing which makes a man more happy than a juicy corn with butter. Just next to our camp, I noticed there's a big ruin as well. Probably from the old water mill as well. I think I'm just gonna go and check in. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, this really looks like it used to be a building. As stated, this place was abandoned maybe like 60 years ago or so. You see this old door, you could pull it down like this and that would lock it. Then you pull it up like that and it would be open. But you can't even move it because all the dirt down there is stopping it. And you can see up here, like it's kind of dangerous to be underneath here, because this is rotting. This wood, you can already see it's breaking under its own weight. And over it, there's a bunch of rocks. So being here underneath is actually really dangerous, because that is eventually gonna rot all the wood, and the rocks, they're gonna collapse down. So if someone is underneath that, that's dangerous. This room down here might actually have been the basement, you know. You built like all these rocks underneath, and then there's a wooden building, a house on top of it. That's at least what I'm thinking. This looks, especially the door, you look at it, this very small door. This doesn't look like a proper entrance door. But anyway, we're leaving that, and we're leaving the lake as well. Okay, closed. Okay. And even though the night sucked, it was cold and miserable, even though the fishing was terrible, the lake was really awesome, and it was really nice being out with your friends, camping, having great food, and as well as learning about the history in the region, looking at the different runestones and everything. I thought it was a really fun day and all. But now we're returning back home, and I'm definitely returning here later on. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you thought it was fun, and I'll see you in the next one.